Good evening and welcome back to the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound and I thank you for watching my Midnight Spook Show. As promised, here is my top 5 favorite Italian horror directors. We're already counting down my top 5 favorite American ones, so check out that video if you haven't already. And in that video I promised I would get to my favorite Italian directors, so now here we are. Let's go ahead and get to it. And stay tuned after the list is over for another special announcement. Alright, so, number 5, my 5th favorite Italian horror movie director is Umberto Lenzi. And my favorite movie he ever directed would have to be Nightmare City. That's right. Awesome zombie movie. Very action-packed and entertaining. Very gruesome in a good way. I absolutely love this movie, and it's a testament to what a great director Umberto Lenzi is. He's my number 5 for good reason. He also did Ghost House and a few others, a few other good ones. Definitely check out his work. You would not be disappointed. And next we have my 4th favorite Italian horror director would be Lamberto Bava. My favorite movie he ever directed, definitely Demons. Very, very fun, highly entertaining movie. I love this movie. As far as really fun horror movies go, it's right up there with Return of the Living Dead and Fright Night, Reanimator, Howls, Night of the Creeps, all that. It's a great one. Very fun. Takes place mostly in a movie theater, so which is a great setting for a horror movie. And Lamberto Bava is a great director, and Demons is my favorite movie he ever did. I'm going to go more in depth of all these movies in my next video, which I'll tell you what that is here in a minute. But anyway, my 3rd favorite Italian horror director would have to be none other than Mario Bava, the father of Lamberto Bava. His son followed in his footsteps, and it was a close one between them, but I think Mario Bava has a slightly bigger catalog, slightly bigger, larger filmography, a lot of great horror movies. And as for my favorite movie that Mario Bava ever put out, it was a close one. It was a toss-up between Twitch of the Death Nerve and Black Sabbath, but I finally went with Black Sabbath, one of my favorite horror anthologies, and this is also the very first Italian horror movie I ever saw, dubbed in English years ago on the TV. I watched it on cable late one night, years and years ago, and luckily this is the Italian version with English subtitles, so I prefer that, uncut. And of course it's the namesake of my favorite band, Black fucking Sabbath, so hey, need I say more? But yeah, Mario Bava was very talented. He was one of the, his work is some of the earliest Italian horror that I ever got into. So he was around way before these other guys. So and yeah, him and his son are both phenomenal. But anyway, let's get to our number 2 choice. My 2nd favorite Italian horror director, none other than Lucio Fulci. And my favorite movie he ever did was The Beyond. It was a close one because he's got a lot of good ones, but I went with The Beyond. That's my favorite Lucio Fulci film. More on this film in my next video. I'm not going to give too much away. But yeah, Lucio Fulci, of course, he also did Zombie, City of the Living Dead, House by the Cemetery, New York Ripper, among many, many others. And this is actually the 2nd in the Gates of Hell trilogy, which also consists of City of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery. And before I unveil my number 1 choice, here's some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Ruggero Deodato. Just the mention of that guy's name gives a chill down my spine. You know, Cannibal Holocaust, House on the Edge of the Park. That guy is just... His work is really, really gruesome. Very disturbing stuff in a good way. Gotta admire him for that. Also, Michel Sovi, Sergio Martino, Bruno Mattei, Joe D'Amato. I probably haven't pronounced a single one of these names right. I probably mispronounced every single one of them. But anyway, there's so many more I could name. But let's go ahead and get to my number 1 pick. My number 1 favorite Italian horror movie director is none other than, was there any doubt, Dario Argento. And my favorite movie he directed, of course, is Suspiria. Very atmospheric, very scary, very creepy, very suspenseful, very awesome. And it's just a staple of this. This is the tip of the iceberg. He's done a lot of great stuff. He, of course, also did Tenebrae and Deep Red and Phenomena and Opera and Inferno and so many great ones, so many great ones. I could just be here all day. Dario Argento has always been my favorite Italian horror director. Him and Fulci have always been my top two, and the others were a little more difficult to list, to come up with a proper order, but Argento and Fulci have always been my top two. And yeah, so those are my top five. Umberto Lenzi, Umberto Bava, Mario Bava, Lucio Fulci, and Dario Argento. And again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing any of those names. I'm not Italian. I'm sorry. But yeah, there we go. But anyway, that's my top 5 favorite Italian horror directors. Don't go anywhere, because the next video I'm going to do, I'm going to get my top 10 favorite Italian horror films. I know what you were thinking. I pretty much already listed my top 5. Well, not necessarily, because I'm going to show off some of my other favorite Italian horror movies too. And my honorable mentions list is going to be really, really big. It might as well be like a top 30, really, if you count the honorable mentions. So don't worry, I'm not just going to talk about these films again. It's not just going to be the same video we already saw. I'm going to go more in depth this time. So yeah, stay tuned. My next video, top 10 favorite Italian horror movies. And I also got a lot of good stuff in the mail lately to show off in my next Loathsome Lore video, but I'm still waiting on 2 or 3 more packages. So once they get here, we will be doing Loathsome Lore episode 20. So stay tuned for that as well. But don't go anywhere, because my very next video is going to be my top 10 favorite Italian horror movies. Alright guys, I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching the Horror Metal channel. Until next time.